All right, so we're in a little bit different setting. No, we're in a completely different setting. So excuse the different placement. Of course, I've already announced that the set is under construction. Got a few things going on. Got a couple of holes in the wall, ready for some things to get mounted. Some things aren't mounted, but the set's being updated. So that will hopefully be revealed to you all by Italy, if not no later than Miami. Also, do not forget we will have a special announcement that's something I am doing to show you all as subscribers, as super chat and sticker members, especially in the Wolfpack fam, some appreciation. It will be something that cannot in its entirety be bought. It will have to be earned. And that is a special thank you from me to you. But let's get to this topic, this issue. Now, this happened like almost a week ago, and I know maybe not a week ago, but long enough ago. And I just have to say, I like to let things like this air out because I feel that letting them kind of air out is erring on the side of caution. I know that there are so many media outlets that will put this out like ASAP because it's click value, it's going to be the hottest thing out, and that's okay to do sometimes. But in my personal opinion, I like to let things kind of play out because people can do things that may be perceived a way that entirely is not that way, and then you have to come out and recant that situation or that statement or maybe the perspective that you put a spin on. But with this 15-year-old Carter being at the center of this situation, I'm going to exercise a bit more. I don't know if I would call it compassion, but definitely I'm going to exercise a bit more. Um, I'm going to hold my tongue a little bit because at the end of the day, this is somebody's kid, right? This is somebody's young kid or brother or son, nephew, whatever the case may be. So I think it definitely calls for me to be a little bit more compassionate in some magnitude, not in the mistake that he has made, right? Because he's done something that's quite egregious. All right. He's done something that's definitely disgusting to me, very disrespectful. But I would like to also add, not only is he guilty of what he did, but he's not the only one that's guilty, right? There's a battery in his back. And he's 15 years old. He's not an adult. He's a kid growing up. Kids make mistakes, but this mistake, particular mistake, is something that cannot, not that it can't be forgiven. It won't be forgotten, and it definitely is. It's unacceptable. Okay. But first I want you to look at this clip because there are a couple of things we're going to point to in this clip. Not that you probably have not seen it, but a couple of things that I want to point to that I take note in. So check the clip out. All right, so the first thing I want to give attention to is his first gesture before the Nazi salute. His first gesture is this right here. All right. Now, that's a term or a gesture of endurement. Usually, when you do something like that, you're first acknowledging something like a bro, a brother, a mentor, a father, an uncle, a mother, somebody that is near and close to you, like, yeah, I got you. This is for you, or big shout out. That's what he does first. That's not an issue, right? The issue is what follows after that is he goes and does the Nazi salute, which even me doing it, I feel horribly odd, funny, and just out of place doing it because I'm a person, I don't like the N word, right? I don't like the N word, and I definitely don't like that. And I know a lot of people may like point to the icon on my hat, be like, what is that? I can tell you it's not that. It's not that at all. If you want to go into that, we can have a further conversation on that. Got no problem with it, but it's not that. So this gesture that he does first tells me that he is definitely pointing or giving it to somebody. Basically, he's brought something out of the home. This is something that is talked about privately amongst family members or maybe close friends. So it one shows me that this is the mindset that he's being raised by. There's somebody close to him or that is directly raising him that believes that this is okay, and they play with this in the home or in their private setting. He's made the mistake of bringing it to a situation where he is under euphoria. He's feeling great about something he's done. He is feeling giddy as a kid does. Like when something they happen, like, oh my gosh, I got first. They feel giddy. They do stupid things like that don't even make any sense to do just because they're so filled with like excitement of something that's just happened. But in this excitement, he's lost track of where he is. And he does this because he's so routinely probably used to doing this. This is something that they probably play or toy with or that they believe in the household. And although he might not directly believe in it, he's a product of his environment, and his environment is supporting this. That's where the problem stems from. We are not short of, not out of a Russian situation where it's basically like a war inside. It's horrible. People have died. People are trying to escape. People are trying to get to safety. And you do this. Somebody you thought this was okay, and whomever is raising him thinks it's okay, and evidently they probably support Russia in their direction. Now, I've sat here, not on this particular seat because I sit in my different seat, but when the Mazepin situation happened, sanctions, and the UK decided he was not going to be welcome to participate in a GP there, and then Haas decides to drop him for that all purposes intended. I sat here and I said, I felt that Haas utilized the situation to rid themselves of a driver and a father who was cancerous to their program. But under those circumstances, I felt it was wrong. I didn't feel that Mazepin or any other Russian athlete should be directly indicted because of the politicians of Russia deciding to do something that was definitely ill-advised. That is something that we did not highly look up on, and we definitely, majority of us decided it was wrong. I didn't feel that other Russian athletes as well as Russian civilians should be indicted. How many times have other countries, including mine, the United States of America, politicians at higher levels have decided to do things that we as civilians and citizens of this country did not agree with? There are citizens of countries that we all want the same thing. We just want to live, have a happy life, have the best opportunities we can to raise our family, get as much money as we can to enjoy life, and that is what we want to do. We don't want to invade other countries. We don't want to take over and kill villages for oil pipelines. We don't want to kill, enslave a generation, a population of people to cause them to dig into the ground, extract precious rocks so they can be sold on the market. We don't want to do that. We don't agree with it, but people in power that have the ability to do so make these decisions. But this is something else that I want to point to. He is participating in a sport underneath an Italian license, not Russia's license, or else he'd probably be saying he wouldn't be performing, right? So here's the problem that this 15-year-old and his family and or who has made him think that this is okay has done. They've tarnished the fact that we feel this way. Not every Russian athlete should be indicted by this. But what he's done is he's backtracked that because you're participating in a sport under not a Russian license, an Italian license. And then you go and you do something that basically salutes a person who is a monster in history, is responsible for killing people on a genocidal level. And you think that it's funny. It's not funny. And whomever is raising you 15-year-old Russian Carter, should definitely undergo a punishment worse than you did losing your license. Not jail, depending on what they've done, but something worse. And I'd have to think about it, what that should be, but it should be, because they should be held accountable. If you have a minor and you're a parent and your minor goes out here and does something, the local law enforcement holds you responsible as the guardian of this minor. Those guardians should be held responsible for this minor. My opinion, all right? It's unfortunate, but I'm also going to say this. He's 15 years old. Second chances do exist. He should also be able to have that opportunity of a second chance. Although people may not forget, time does go on. And with time, he could grow in a direction that totally does not agree with what he did here. He's still maturing as a person. And as he reaches being an adult, he may not be the same person he was at 15. This experience could change him for the better or the worse. And that also would largely depend upon his upbringing inside his family circle. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. He shouldn't have did it. I don't know how apologetic he is, because he did a video, and I'm not going to show that video because I'm not going to lend anything to his apology. He's going to have to work very hard on his own to make it right with society, the world, and himself. That's what he's going to have to do. Everybody's apologetic when they realize something that they want and care about, whether it be money, a position, or anything else that is of value to them is in jeopardy. You want to apologize. Would you have apologized if your karting license was not revoked? You were not in jeopardy of losing what you look for as a career in racing. Would you have come back and apologized, like after that, realized like, yo, you know what? What's going on right now? What I do know about history, like I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Would that apology have came out then? I doubt it. But that is the way things work majority of the time, right? If you get away with it, you get away with it. Very few and far between do people get away with something wrong and then come back to the scene of the crime or to the situation and say, hey, I was wrong. All right, I did you wrong. How can I make it right? Because I'm standing up for it. So we'll have to see. In time, we'll see. That's my take on it. That's how I feel about it. And that's why I let it air out, so that I could at least present my opinion in the best way possible now. Because at that point in time, I don't think it was the best time for me to just get on camera and say how I felt about that. I'm very passionate when it comes to a situation like this, especially knowing that, a culture of people were derailed in family lines due to a monster. It's just like, if you do your history and look at the accounts and the stories and the pictures and the Anne Franks and just, I don't only pay attention to my culture of what also happened to people that look like me in this country, especially, not only in the UK, because those stories also are very horrific and horrible, and for hundreds of years of extent. But anything that like that, I'm very compassionate about it, and it really touches me because I don't know how people could do those things. So before I get too emotional on this situation related to racing, that's what it is. That's how I feel about it. Let me know how you feel down below in the comment section. Do not forget, subscribe, like, and if you dislike, let me know why you dislike it. Maybe there's something I could do, maybe not. For all of you who don't really care for the fact that I use a lot of swearing, hopefully this video suits you with that, but not as far as the topic is concerned. And also, special announcement coming out by Italy or Miami, I guarantee you. So stay tuned. Hopefully I will be back on my regular set soon. Just build it. Peace. Thanks for tuning in and watching another video here at Wolfpack Performance. Check out some of my other content on Formula One issues, our topics, and our DIY products on how to customize your vehicle. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.